Alrighty, everyone. We are just going to do a little bit of a review of this cable labeler kit and what you have in here. So you've got a pair of scissors, some shrink wrap, some shrink tubing. You've got a hot air gun to help with the shrink wrap. You've got a labeler, as well as this little part that helps with the shrink tubing. That way the air kind of circulates in there. And then a couple different labeler tapes, and then small measuring tape, small little utility knife, and this XLR sniffer slash sender. So it's a cable tester kit. Center City had a cable that went bad, so we'll go ahead and test it, show you how this works, and then we'll basically show you how to label a cable. All right, I'm gonna clear out some of my space. Oh, also you have a screwdriver, which is cool. I'm just gonna clear up some of this space here. And since it's a worship cable, I am going to put the yellow labeling tape inside the labeler. Just load that cassette in. What's funny is that most of you guys probably don't even know what a cassette is anymore. All right. It is a 1/2 inch. Oh, looks like this screen got a little. Oh, looks fine now. Yeah, and then we're usually at 16 and in bold. So that's set, ready to roll. I'm gonna put this back. This is trash, and that's trash. All right, we've got our little XLR sniffer tester. So basically you plug it in, and you plug in this side, and it will show green. It says if it's all green, that means it's all good. However, we were having some issues with some crackling. So sometimes if you spin it, you'll see, or shake it around, you'll see these lights go on and off. The final test is always testing it with a microphone, making sure it works. So it says that there's nothing wrong with the pinouts, which is good. But I think there was just something. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't lock anymore. This little switch here doesn't lock into place anymore, and that's probably what's causing it to slip out and crackle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace the cable. And we'll put this aside. You should always be sending this back with your location pastor, or whoever is central leading for the day. They'll bring this back to me, and I'll go ahead and test it, and then either repair it or retire it. So we actually have a cable that was used for Vocal 3 at a different location, and it says Vocal 3 input 19 here. This one is Vocal 3 input 11. So we're actually just going to use our scissors to cut this shrink wrap off, and we're going to replace this label with input 11, and that should help. And we're actually going to make an extra cable as well. One of the things that I'll do is always test the cable that I'm replacing it with, make sure that we've got all green lights, which we do. So that's great. I'll take this label off. That's trash. Leave our little trash pile over there. Turn on our labeler, and this will be Vox 3. And then if you hit the enter button, it will go down to another line. So I'll say input 16. Oh, nope, input 11. And we'll print that. Oh, that's too small. 8, 10, 12. Too many lines. Cool, that's perfect. Vox 3, input 11. So we'll go ahead and put that on the cable. I always like to have the label facing where the cable is going to lock. So this is facing up. That's perfect. And we are going to plug in our heat gun. Make sure that it's off for now. But I am going to plug her in. I'm gonna turn it on, let it heat up. While that's heating up, I am going to, actually that's probably a little loud, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna take this shrink wrap here, and I'm just gonna cut a little bitty strip here, around that size, and that is going to fit over our XLR, and we're gonna shrink wrap this into place. Pretty simple. So this one's a little large, so I'm gonna pull that out and hit start, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let it shrink wrap in place here, rotating it around as it goes. And just like that, it's shrink wrapped, and that label is not going anywhere. Perfect. So that's the first cable. We'll do another one as a just in case. So on one side we'll put the same thing, Vox 3 input 11, and we'll put it on the input side. So this one will be Vox 3 input 11. I'm just gonna cut this old tag off. We already have it, so I'll print it. After I put this label on, I am going to test the cable, make sure it works. Vox 3 input 11. Test it, so just plug it in on both sides. That works. That works. Great. So on this other side, I'll just say Vox 3. Make it 16 for the sizing, 16 points. That looks pretty good. Alright, pop this bad boy right here. And I see that this is missing a little rubber piece. I'm gonna take it from this gasket from the bad cable, because the bad cable doesn't work anyway, and drop it over here. That way, if you notice, this sits a little bit more snug. Great. Now I'll cut 2 more of these little pieces here. 1 and 2. We could put this heat shrink tubing away. This should last you quite a few cables. Put my scissors away, and then we'll just heat shrink this. So a lot of you have extra cables laying around just in case you do lose one. So this would be a great time to, if you are replacing a cable, go ahead and relabeling them. Also, it will help you, if the cable doesn't work, you can run it through a tester, see if there's something wrong with the cable or not. If there's something that's not wrong with the cable, then there's probably something wrong elsewhere along the chain. Maybe it's the device, maybe it's a different cable that it's daisy chained to. So this should help. Great. The shrink tubing goes from a translucent color to transparent, and yeah, I would just say keep rotating it as you're shrink wrapping these. That way the internals don't get too hot. But yeah, once you finish heat shrinking things, this kind of needs to sit outside for a couple minutes to cool, and then you can put it all back in your bin. Everything is kind of self-contained, which is nice, and yeah, you should be able to have a good time testing cables and labeling cables now. So hopefully you have a great time, and peace out. See you guys later.